Okay, so welcome to this cooling and soothing practice, which is perfect for the days when you're feeling hot, hot physically, hot maybe emotionally, maybe you've had a little bit of aggravation, agitation. Also great for those feelings of kind of hot and those hot flushes, if you experience menopause symptoms, and also lovely on a kind of evening where you're ready just to kind of take the day off you and ease into a nice, cooling, easing evening. So we'll start with the practice laying down and make yourself comfortable. It doesn't really matter whether you're laying on your belly or on your back, as long as you feel that lovely support from the ground. Just take a few moments to welcome yourself in and on the mat, into the practice and on the mat. So maybe take a little bit of movement, whatever way feels good, maybe a little bit of stretch of the legs, maybe a little stretch of the arms, maybe a little yawn. And then adjust yourself to lay down nice and comfortably. Maybe there's a bit of a blanket or a cushion underneath your head. Maybe your knees are bent and your feet are on the floor, so that your back can feel supported and your psoas muscle, that big kind of muscle that runs from the middle of your back all the way down to your thighs, can just kind of drop down in ease. And maybe your arms are down by your sides. If you're laying on a nice cool floor, then sometimes it's quite nice to have the palms facing down so that you can feel that lovely coolness of the ground underneath you. And wherever you are, give yourself some armpit space so the armpits can also feel a little bit of ease and kind of freedom. And then when you're ready, take a nice exhaling breath. Maybe a little bit of a heart sound, just to really allow the body to settle and drop into the practice, welcoming yourself. And sometimes when we're feeling kind of a little bit hot and bothered, we've been rushing around maybe all day, just before we start moving again, it's nice to just take a few moments to find a little bit of coolness, a little bit of ease. Whether you're doing this practice in the morning or in the evening or in the day, sometimes the brain has already been kind of filled with lots of rushing thoughts. So it's nice to take a moment to just let all of that settle and take a little bit of time to welcome the body to the day, to the practice. So I'm going to invite you to kind of make a choice from a couple of visuals that might feel appealing to you. We're going to work those visuals down the body, cooling the body from, welcoming the body from the top of the head down to the feet. So if you're feeling really kind of a little bit hot and sticky, or you find the idea of water or snow soothing, I'm going to invite you to imagine you're placing a really beautiful raindrop, gentle, small raindrop, or a beautiful snowflake onto every part as we're working our way down. And every time you greet that part of the body with your cooling visual, imagine that space soothing and easing and finding that cool, gentle space. And if that feels too cool for you right now, maybe you need something just a little bit softer. So maybe imagining a beautiful flower, petal from that flower, that softness and gentleness. Maybe it's a nice, gentle, cool color, maybe a light blue or a lilac or a baby pink, something that's gently soothing and easing. You're very welcome to place that on the body instead. So we'll start with a place between the eyebrows. You can place your cooling visual there. Gentle snowflake or raindrop or petal. Notice as it lands, just finding that softness and ease and a little bit of space and coolness around that space. And then sprinkling that visual around the eyebrows. Maybe a little bit on the forehead, cool, easy, smooth, soft forehead. Finding like you're kind of almost ironing out or easing out any kind of creases, wrinkles. So there's that soft, smooth feeling around the forehead. Temples, soft eyes. Nose, gentle raindrops or snowdrops on the cheeks. Cool lips and chin and jaw. Ears and crown and back of the head. So the whole face feels soft and easy. Head is cool and supported. Like you can really kind of just allow the head to drop down You can say hello to your face. It feels greeted and seen. Then continuing down the body, placing those lovely cooling things down the neck and down the shoulders, greeting the shoulders. And then down the arms, including spaces that sometimes get a little bit kind of sticky and hard. Armpits, and maybe the fold of the elbows, maybe the palms of your hands. And then back of the arms and down the sides of the body, so from the armpit to the hips. Left and right side, cool. Beautiful snowflakes or raindrops or petals, greetings scattered around there. Down the front of the torsos, across the chest and heart, that place can almost feel like it's soothing and softening, almost like it's gently melting, cool down into the back. And the front of the rib cage and the belly, also soft and cool and easy. And then feeling like the front of the torso can kind of melt down into the back of the torso, so connecting to the back of the body, placing some cool spaces there. Shoulder blades, between the shoulder blades, middle of the back, lower back. And then some cooling around the pelvis, imagining a beautiful visual, gently scattered around the pelvis, front, sides, back, base, and then down the legs, including those kind of sticky parts that often get a little bit hot and sweaty, so backs of the knees and soles of the feet, maybe even the gentle little spaces between each toe. Now the whole body feeling greeted with your cooling, soothing visual. You've said hello to yourself and offered the body a little bit of rest and ease. From the top of the head down to the feet, the whole body welcomed and eased. Left side, right side, center, front and back. And in this cool space, just noticing the lovely support of the ground. Maybe imagining as you move through the practice today, that you can access these cooling spaces anytime you feel like you want to. Kind of imagine a beautiful cooling visual, you can place it anywhere you like. Maybe even imagining that you are practicing in a beautiful setting today. Maybe somewhere in nature, maybe noticing what the weather, your perfect weather might be like today. Be noticing a gentle breeze, not too hot, not too cold, just soothing enough, and maybe the right amount of light, whether it's cooling gentle silver stars, or whether it's just the right amount of sunlight, maybe through tree branches that gives you that little bit of kind of energizing if you're doing this in the morning or in the afternoon. Also the right amount of coverage so you feel cool and shaded. Just letting that be your kind of lovely mental setting as you work through the practice today with me. Lovely. Now that we've set the scene for ourselves, just take a few 3 to 4 breaths, slightly brighter, slightly fuller, just to gently bring yourself back into the room. And then you can access those kind of visuals and that surrounding anytime you like. We just want to kind of wake up the body slightly, wiggling fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch when you're ready, maybe a little bit of a yawn. And we spend a little bit of time when we're trying to spend a little bit more time moving slower, moving in a kind of more watery, cool way. And also staying maybe relatively close to the ground, so we have that grounding, that support from the cool earth. So just starting to wake up the body here gently. You can bring the knees in maybe when you're ready. Give yourself a little bit of a rocking side to side, just easing everything out. Noticing how your lower back feels. And then maybe holding the right leg, extend the left leg down, give that a little bit of a stretch. Take a nice inhale, nice exhale. Notice where you can offer your body a little bit more coolness and ease. So maybe that face can be a little bit gentler, maybe the shoulders can ease down some more. So there's no strain during the practice today. And then the other leg, swap sides. Nice inhale, nice exhale. Good. And then bring both knees in. And take some nice knee circles, just massaging out the lower back. circle in one direction, and then the other. And plant the feet back down to the ground, knees stay bent, interlace your fingers, press the palms up towards the sky, and then up above the head and back behind you on the ground. Wiggle out your back so you're kind of as long as you can be through the torso. Good, and then let go of the interlace. If you've got a blanket underneath the head and it's in your way, feel free to move it to the side. You can, when you're ready, grab the right wrist with your left hand and just gently guide it over to the left. So option one, just to stay here for a few rounds of breath. Maybe take a nice inhale, nice exhale. And maybe extend the right leg down if that feels okay in the back. Maybe bringing it over a little bit towards the left side so you get a little bit more of a kind of gentle kind of half moon shape or a little banana shape. And maybe extend the left leg as well. Take a nice inhale. Take a nice exhale. Good. And then bring it back to center. Readjust. So bending your knees, placing the feet back on the ground, allowing the arms to rest down by your side. Lengthen through the back again. We'll do the same thing on the other side. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms up into the sky. Then up and behind you, letting go of the interlace, grab your left wrist with your right hand. Gently guide it over towards the right. Maybe stay here, just take a nice inhale. Nice exhale. Good. Maybe extend that left leg. Maybe bring that left leg a little bit over towards the right so you get a little bit more of a banana shape here. Maybe extending the right leg too, but if that feels uncomfortable on your back, feel free to go back a step. So maybe imagine yourself as gentle, cool moon, gentle, soft, cool sky. Take a nice inhale, nice exhale. Wonderful. Bring it back to center. Take your time, just moving the legs, moving the arms, readjusting. Bringing the arms down by your sides and bring the knees in. Again, give yourself a gentle rocking, just easing that out. And then with the rocking, just rock yourself over into whichever side feels good and bring yourself up to sit. Reach a nice, comfortable seated position. And in this comfortable seat, we're just going to do a couple of cat-cows. So you can bring the hands to the legs and just rolling and opening. That's it. Rounding, maybe dropping the head down. Opening, maybe broadening collarbones. Good. And we're going to link it with the breath. Exhale to round. Inhale to open. Exhale to round. Inhale to open. And we're going to link this to that cooling visual. As you exhale and round, just notice everything soften, like you're kind of feeling that coolness on your back, that kind of ease in your neck and head. Eyes are soft. And as you open, maybe feel a bit more brightness. So you get a little bit of sense of kind of vitality across the heart, a little bit of sparkle. Good, and move between those two spaces, that cool space as you round, and that slightly brighter space as you open. Good, keeping the movement gentle and fluid and soft. Imagining you kind of moving as coolly as a beautiful little stream. Just finding that easing, cooling movement from round to open. Still continue to link it with the breath. Exhaling to round, cooling, exhaling breath. Inhaling to open, gently brightening, energizing. That's it. 2 more. Just in your own time. And then when you're ready, you can come back to center. We're going to do a nice gentle open twist so that we're not creating too much heat through the body but still giving our spine some freedom. You're going to take, doesn't matter which way you turn first, but place the hand, one hand on your leg, keep it there, and raise the other one up and then send it behind you so you get a little bit of an open twist. Stay here for a moment, take a nice inhale, nice exhale. Good, and then bring it back to center. Both hands on your legs, go the other way. One hand stands on your legs, the other one comes up and back and around. placing the hand on the floor. You can keep it on the fingertips, just to keep the movement nice and gentle. Take a nice inhale. Nice exhale. Good. And then come back to center. Repeat one more time each side, just in your own time. Maybe when you bring the hand behind you, if it lands on the floor, it lands maybe on the cool ground, especially if you've got a hard floor. Maybe notice the coolness of the ground beneath your fingertips. And the same thing on the other side. Lovely. And when you're back to center, just take a few moments to roll the shoulders, finding a little bit of freedom, a little bit of ease. And give them opportunity to roll backwards, just to open up, kind of releasing any heat from the front of the body. Maybe nice, take a nice cleansing exhale sound. Good. Just kind of give yourself a little bit of a shaking off. And notice as you shake off, your body kind of gently moves through the air, and there's a little bit of cooling, especially when we do it gently, there's a little bit of cooling on the skin. Lovely. And then you can swing your legs around and come into a nice tabletop position. And give yourself some support, so maybe some comfort underneath your knees. So maybe a little blanket underneath your knees is always good. Lovely. Make sure your hands are feeling comfortable. So notice what it's like to flex through the wrists. Notice what it's like to take fists. And also notice what's comfortable for your knees. Whether the toes are extended and that's more comfortable for you, or the toes are tucked under. Notice what's more comfortable for you. Sometimes it depends on what the knees are feeling like today. And then from here, just taking again some nice cat-cows, keeping the movement simple and easy for the nervous system so that it can just focus on soothing. Inhaling to open, maybe again noticing that gentle bit of brightness. Exhaling to round, feeling that softness, that fullness, that release. You can give your head a little shake just to free up any holding in the neck and the shoulders. Exhaling to round, inhaling to open. One more, exhale, and inhale. Good, come back to neutral center, take the right hand forward, spark out the fingers, feel the coolness of the ground underneath that hand, and then give yourself a little stretch back, take a nice exhale here. Good, and then swap arms, opposite arm forward, stretch it back. Take a nice exhale. Good. And then come back to center. Take the right foot forward. Actually, it doesn't matter which leg goes forward, but if the right one's comfortable for you, go with that one first. Bring yourself up onto the fingertips so you get a little bit of extra height, some bit of freedom. Then just take some gentle hip circles, maybe extending the front leg as you move back, and then into the front knee as you come forward. Just circling back one way. And let the movement be really kind of nice and slow, always imagining yourself as a beautiful kind of gentle spring stream. There's a little bit of fluidity through the water. And maybe you can link it to the breath, inhaling coming forward, exhaling going back. So your circle is made of two halves. Inhaling one half, exhaling the other half. And then let the circle go the other way, circling in the opposite direction. Good. And then bring it back to center. Round through the foot, so you are nice and supported at the front, and float the arms up. Give yourself a little stretch up, a little wiggle. Good. And almost like you're reaching up to the sky, either for stars or for raindrops. Whatever feels good for you, or maybe to a beautiful blossoming tree, and then using your fingers, almost kind of allowing that rain or that snow to just gently kind of sparkle down you, like kind of spring down you, cooling sensation through the body, all the way to the ground. Bring your hands to the floor, feeling the coolness of the ground beneath your hands, like it's landed on the cool earth. Good, and then swap legs. Bring that leg behind, send the other leg in front, take some nice hip circles. Just easing out those circles. Good. One way, and then the other way. You're remembering to link it with your breath if that feels comfortable for you. Exhaling back, cooling exhale, soothing exhale, brightening inhale forward, soothing exhale back, brightening inhale forward. Good. And then when you're ready, come back to a nice steady middle, round through the front foot, float the body up, give yourself a little wiggle up, lengthen through the spine, and then coming back to those twinkly fingertips, like snowdrops or rain or beautiful petals, beautiful blossom petals, just soothing, cooling, coming down the body, soothing your body, soothing your nervous system, cooling your mind, and then pressing them into the ground. Good. Take the front foot back, so you're back into a nice tabletop. Take both hands slightly further forward and widen. Give yourself a nice stretch back in child. Take a nice exhale here and let everything soften here. If you need to support the head, if you have high blood pressure, then bring one fist on top of the other and let the head maybe rest there. Or if you have some blocks, you're very welcome just to support the forehead so that the head doesn't drop below the heart. Otherwise, maybe the forehead comes down to the ground. And you can kind of maybe even roll the forehead a little bit side to side, getting that soothing, cooling sensation from the ground. Take a nice releasing exhale. And then bring yourself back to tabletop. Tuck the toes under. Stretch yourself back into downward dog. Take a moment, kind of a free moment to downward dog. Maybe shake out your neck and head. Maybe take a little pedal just to free up the legs. Bending through one knee and then the other knee. Pedaling the heels. And then walk the hands towards you to the back of the mat. And then bring yourself up to stand. Nice stretch up. Exhale, release the arms down. Good. And find a little bit of a sway. To make sure you move away from the back of the mat, maybe to the center if that feels more comfortable for you. Find a gentle sway. And just noticing as you gently sway, you're nourishing, kind of passing a little bit of that fluidity through every single cell in your body. And your skin is also passing through that nice cool air. You can maybe even visualize yourself in that beautiful cool spot. Close your eyes and gently look through your eyelashes. And you can imagine that gentle breeze, that cooling gentle breeze in your skin. Really nice. And then come back to center. Good. And then from the central place, just like we did when we were on our kind of hands and knees, you can lift the arms up and just find that gentle sprinkling down of the kind of snow or the raindrops, the beautiful petals. And as it comes down the body, it cools and soothes anything you have going on. So you're cooling the mind as you kind of twinkle in front of the face, cooling the eyes, cooling our communication, cooling our feelings as you come down the heart, cooling our body as you work your way down, all the way down to the floor until we reach the cool earth. And then you can bring that coolness from that earth all the way back up towards the top, and then we start again. Let the breath just flow naturally here, so you're not overthinking, just kind of focusing on those cooling kind of visuals as you work your way down the body. So, it's this perfect cooling temperature for you, which might be different today than on another day. It's a perfect balance of imagining just the perfect temperature for you right now. What do you kind of quite intuitively feel would be nourishing for you right now? Some days it's a little colder, some days it's a little warmer. Good, and then next time you come up, take it down the sides. So the sides of the body isn't neglected. Cooling down the sides, maybe even kind of around the armpits and the sides of the body. Coming all the way down. And also the back of the body. So the back of the neck, sometimes the neck gets quite kind of hot and sticky. Shoulders, maybe you can have to wrap your arms around the other way, down the backs of the knees. And back into the ground. And one more time, just coming up, kind of send it around wherever you feel you kind of need the coolness. Kind of wherever it kind of naturally wants to go, that soothing, cooling sensation as you come down. One final one. Then plug your hands into the ground, connect into the coolness of the earth, and then bringing it back up. And then exhale, release. Good. Step back to the back of the mat if you're not there already. Give yourself a good stretch up. Inhale up. Exhale, nice and slowly, fold forward and down. Letting go of any effort. Finding yourself walking forward into a little downward dog. Give yourself a little stretch. Lower the knees down nice and slow. Extend the toes, bend the elbows, lower the heart down. Come into a gentle cobra. Just releasing any heat from the front of the body. Take a nice inhale. Nice exhale. And then extend the arms. The whole body is connected to the ground. Full prostration. So you have a full extension. Maybe feeling that nice cooling connection to the ground. And even if you're not on a hard floor, maybe you're on a carpet or a rug, maybe imagining beautiful kind of cool earth, maybe a beautiful lawn or a nice kind of cool hard floor. Somewhere where next time you exhale, you can exhale and then the body just feels soothed and supported by the ground. Make as much contact with the floor as you can. Maybe give yourself a little bit more length, but also find some softness. Another moment here. Just giving the body a chance just to rest. Then bring the hands under the shoulders, slowly peel yourself up. Give yourself a little stretch back in child's pose. And bring the hands to you, so you can come gently sit up, swing the legs around so that you can come to a nice comfortable seat. And come to a comfortable seat maybe with a little bit of support under you. So maybe you've got a blanket, maybe you've got a block, maybe a cushion, just enough so you have a little bit of kind of height through the length of the spine. You can kind of sit on the edge. We're just going to do 2 calming breaths, just to kind of slowly close the movement part of the practice and move into the relaxation part of the practice. So the first breath is just a belly breath, and that just helps to connect to our parasympathetic nervous system. And the second breath is Shitali, which is a cooling breath for actually accessing the kind of cooling parts of our body, or accessing the kind of practices that help the body to cool. So take a nice comfortable seat, nice and long through the back, and feel that lovely support of the ground, so you can wiggle the hips down. Feel free to keep the eyes closed and gently looking for your eyelashes for a little bit of softness, whatever's more comfortable for you. Maybe at this point the palms face down, just so that you kind of have a little bit of grounding through the body. And then notice the support of your spine. Feel like you can kind of sit back, lean back into yourself. And let the breath here just flow naturally without you having to adjust it, shake it, and there's no right or wrong. Maybe breathe through the nose or through the mouth, combination of the two. If the breath is short or long, it really doesn't matter, but just your natural rhythm right now. Saying hello to your breath. You know that you can come back to this natural rhythm, seated here comfortably, supported by the ground, and kind of snugly feeding into your back whenever you like. So if at any part of the practice you feel like this is what you want to come back to, then this is a really lovely, cooling, calming space in itself. If you'd like to do the belly breath, you can bring the hands to the belly, one on top of the other. The next time you inhale, invite your breath down towards your hands. And as you exhale, exhale nice and long and slow. Feeling like you're guiding the breath away, out and away. Inhaling nice and low down towards your hands. You might feel the belly expand into the hands slightly. And as you exhale, exhale nice and long and slow. Maybe you feel the belly coming back towards your spine, gently guiding the breath away. Inhaling nice and low.
Exhaling nice and long and slow. And again, inhaling nice and low. Exhaling nice and long and slow. One more time, just in your own time. Maybe as you inhale, inhaling through the nose. That's comfortable for you. Maybe as you exhale, exhaling through the mouth, through gently parted lips, allowing the breath to trickle out nice and long and slow. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth, nice and long and slow. 2 more times, just in your own time. If you want to stay with this breath, feel free to continue. You can even let go of the belly and just let the hands rest on your leg. You can come back to your natural flowing breath. You can take a nice cleansing, kind of easing exhale here. Just to kind of reset and just enjoy a comfortable seat for a few minutes. Or you can do Shitali with me, that cooling breath. So traditionally Shitali will roll the tongue, but you can also do it with just creating a little straw shape, a little all shape with your lips, like a little straw with the lips. And sometimes that's more accessible for people, especially for those of us who can't roll the tongue. And also if you're doing it on public transport or in the car or in the middle of the meeting, it's slightly less noticeable and people don't think you're strange, which is fine if they do, but also nice to have some tools that we can access anytime we like. So just creating a little O, little straw shape with the mouth. You're very welcome to just watch the first couple of times, just so you're not kind of moving in a way that's not natural to your breath. So we create a little O shape with the mouth, and we inhale through that O. And as we inhale through that O, for that little straw, the air lands on the tongue and naturally cools the tongue. And that cool tongue will place to the roof of the mouth, and we exhale through the nose. So it looks something like this. Let's do that together. Inhaling through your straw, cooling your tongue, placing the tongue to the roof of the mouth, exhaling through the nose. Let the exhale be nice and long so that you don't overbreathe. Inhaling through your straw, placing the cool tongue to the roof of your mouth, exhaling through the nose. Good. Continue like that for a few more rounds in your own time. Two more after the one that you're on. Allow the exhale to be nice and long and slow. Allowing your inhale to be cooling to the tongue. And when you're ready, you can let go of any forced breath or any shaking of the breath. Maybe take a nice cleansing exhale just to let it all go. And maybe just shake out the hands and the shoulders, just give everything a little wiggle. And then you can turn yourself around and very gently lay down. Just going to come lay down for a few moments to close the practice. Give yourself a little bit of support, roll yourself down very gently. And take any final movement here you feel you need. Maybe a little bit of a windshield wipe. The legs can be quite nice. So feet nice and wide. And then knees bent, and just dropping yourself out side to side, just easing out the body after that little bit of sitting. Maybe the arms are out, palms are facing down, so you get that core support from the ground. Good. And when you're ready, maybe bring the knees in and just rock out the lower back again, side to side. And maybe extend your legs and your arms up into the sky and give everything a good shake out, a little bit of soothing and ease, a little bit of a wiggle, and then slowly lower everything down towards the ground.
Maybe imagining as you lay here, you can close your eyes if that feels nice, that you're back in that lovely cool space you imagined at the beginning of the class. It's perfect weather. The cooling elements are just the right temperature around you. So if you're feeling quite cool now, it doesn't have to be cold elements, it doesn't have to be snow or water. It can be something gentler, like gentle flowers or green grass, something that is soothing and easing rather than necessarily cold. Just staying here for a few rounds of breath, maybe 6 or 7. Every time you exhale, feel that lovely support of the ground beneath you, supporting your body. Maybe imagining you're placing your cooling elements on any part of the body that feel that they can still benefit from a little bit of cooling and soothing. Maybe those kind of sticky hot places like armpits, knees. Maybe coolness around the head, forehead, temples. Maybe you want to gently scan the whole body, just like we did in the beginning, placing your cool elements there. Just a few moments of doing that, just in your own time. And feel free to stay here for as long as you like. Feel free to change position if you want to be on your belly or on your side. Or if you're ready to step back into your day, before you do, just noticing that gentle sense of feeling cooled and soothed. Maybe observe anything that you can support that feeling. Anything you can do more or less of, sometimes less is more. And anything that you might enjoy, maybe something that you find not just cooling for the body, but maybe just soothing for the mind, maybe a walk or a shower, maybe a nice cool drink, or a soothing conversation with a friend. Let that be a little wish for yourself for some point today, maybe tomorrow. When you're ready, take 3 or 4 brighter breaths just to wake yourself up. Start moving fingers and toes and ankles and wrists. Yourself maybe a good stretch. Take as long as you would like to make your way back into the world. But when you're ready, you can gently, taking your time, roll over to whichever side feels good. Making sure the nervous system isn't being rushed, so take your time so you can stay in that cool, calm space. When you're ready, you can press yourself up. Take a comfortable seat. Make sure you feel that lovely support of the ground, and then gather all those cooling elements that you explored today and let them nourish your mind, cooling of the mind, cooling of our communication, that softening and cooling of the heart when it feels a little bit hot. That lovely support of the ground. Cooling qualities of the ground, always knowing that it's there to support us and hold us steady. Wonderful. Thank you, gang. Have a really gorgeous rest of your day. Let me know if you ever have any questions. And that's the end of